everyone. This is KO from Hollywood Entertainment News, and I have such a fabulous guest on today. He's had such an illustrious career with acting, martial arts, hip hop dancing. Can you believe this one? I was just telling him I'm 2 left feet. He's done so much. I'd like to welcome to HEN Don DeNoyer. How are you doing, Don?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing amazing. It's really it's an honor to be here.
Well, you look amazing, that's for sure.
Oh, thank you. You
Oh,
too.
oh, hey, you know what a compliment. Hey, that's great.
Not bad for 2 left feet over there.
Yes, I do have 2 left feet. You do not want to see me dancing at all. But you've had so many things going on in your life, in your career, and I want to stay centered on one thing, and that's the War Guardians program. And I want to know a little bit more about that. And could you just tell us, what does WAR stand for?
Well, WAR stands for, and it's because of my military career, everybody thinks that it stands for that part of it. What I had done was I wanted to come up with something that meant a lot to people. So WAR actually is an acronym for We All Rise. And that's just something that's geared for everyone, not just one individual. For all of us, we all need to rise. We all need to rise up. We all need to come together. We all, and I've been doing this for so long. Before all of this stuff started happening, and everybody was becoming more of an individualist, and this is wrong and that's wrong. I had been focusing on that for quite a few years.
Right, I see. Let me ask you a personal question. Were you bullied?
No, I was the bully in school.
Okay.
I was a popular kid, and I was the one going out there bullying people. And I never really thought anything of it. I just, I didn't know that there was an actual word for it when I was going through it.
Right.
And I remember when I joined the military, and I seen all of these different personalities, and all these different people coming at you, left and right and sideways, and then the drill sergeants, and then I started kind of listening and paying attention to things. And I still, even for the next possibly 5 years of my military career, I still, because I was a fighter and a martial artist, and I could easily pick on people who were weaker, and I didn't care if you were stronger than me, I still would do it. And just one day, it just kind of hit me.
Yeah.
I seen this kid crying, and and then I started reading, and you don't pay attention to things until it kind of hits home for you.
Right.
It's like an injured finger. You don't realize how often you use that injured finger until you hurt it.
That's true.
You keep banging it on things. So
You do.
that's what kind of happened to me. And a little later in my career, it kind of stuck with me. And in the military, we have an acronym that we use called leadership, and it stands for loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage.
Okay.
Those are the values that we live by. And when I became a recruiter in the military, I started going on the high school campuses, and I spent the last 6 years of my career doing that.
Right.
And I started dealing with kids that, I'm giving these messages, join the military, do this, do that. But then I started seeing that there was more important things to do on campus.
Right, and that's true, because I read so much about you going into the schools and with your program. And what exactly do you do with the program inside the schools?
Well, I like to always go in and do an assessment on the school. So I'll go in and do a survey. I pick each particular grade from freshman up to senior,
Okay.
and go in and I'll do a survey, and 2 different classes, per grade level. And then I'll take that, tally it, and then I'll let the school know, hey, I think there's an issue here, or there's a problem, or as long as the kids are answering the questions, right, they're not putting their names on these surveys. So, most of the kids are, doing what they're doing. And then we kind of compare that. I go over it with probably the vice principal of the school at that particular time, because he's usually the person in charge of discipline. And so if they agree that there's an issue or a problem there, then we go ahead and we set up, I like to do stage plays. And so I'll work with the school together a play, and the plays are based off of journals of kids who had committed suicide. And it's basically the last words of them. And so I'm giving them their voice back. So, and I'll usually do that in the whole school. So it's usually a whole school assembly. We put the play on, and then we just kind of go from there.
Now, how do the kids feel about the program?
I've had nothing but positive feedback, because the kids are getting their voice back. My program is designed to help the individual realize that they can stand on their own 2 feet. I can give them a voice. I tell them it's okay to say there's a problem. I don't like the word bully, believe it or not. I don't like using that word, because now I feel like I'm doing the same thing to them that was being done. So if you label somebody a bully,
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say put a label on them. You don't want that.
No. So the program is really designed as a rehabilitation program, where I'm able to take the kid who's doing the bullying and turn him into a mentor. And we usually will take
that's interesting. Yes.
Yeah, we usually take the child that's being bullied. We'll take the one that's bullying him, and then we put them together, and we have them do projects, and we have them do assignments together where they get to know each other. And I've been really successful with it. And at the end of it, it's like they get to know that they're real people. They get to know that there's more to it. So.
And sometimes I've learned with going into the schools for different situations that the kid that, let's say, is the more dominant one, I'm not going to use the word bullying, but that particular child maybe feel as if they're left out of a situation. So that's why they're acting the way they are, because it's maybe out of anger, fear, sadness. So they feel they have to grab control of it. And I think that's a sad thing too. I think that we should all be mindful of other people's feelings, regardless what age we are, whether we're young kids all the way up to senior citizens. They don't take in consideration that they may be actually hurting somebody by not including them or involving them like that.
Yeah, bullying itself is an epidemic, and
Yes.
I don't care what anybody says. It's an epidemic, and kids get such a high from the feeling that they get from that dominance that we talk about. And it's like a drug. I mean, they get that feeling, and then they want more, and they get that sense of power and that sense of entitlement, and they continue to push and push and push, and not realizing the end result of that is usually the kid committing suicide because he can't take it anymore.
Right. And that's the same way with stalking too. When young kids are stalked. I mean, I have a stalker, a real bad one, and it's awful having to look over your shoulder, and you just feel like, just the other day I was saying, I just feel like giving up. Why? And then the reason why is to show other people that if I can get through situations like this, there's hope for them too.
Yeah, you have that situation with that one runner, McCluskey, in Utah. And, she talked about how she was stalked and stalked and stalked by, this predator, and, all the stuff that was going on, and no one took her serious. And, she was murdered by him.
I know.
So, this is a thing that, whether it's stalking or bullying or no matter what it is, I mean, people need to take it serious. This is not a situation where you can sit back and think that the person's crying wolf, right? You have to take every situation serious, and then once you've deemed that it's not as bad as it is, or that it's taken care of, and even in a stalking situation, when they get the restraining orders and do all that, doesn't stop anybody. That doesn't stop them. They continue to do what they're going to do. So I think there needs to be more serious punishments and consequences to these things.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And I also want to just say, for a moment, thank you so much. And thank you for your service, Don. I
Thank
should
you.
have started the program off with that, but you are such a fascinating gentleman. And I want to ask, do you have a positive message for your fans?
Yeah, you have to sit there and use your voice. And I use an acronym in my We All Rise program. And the acronym is VOICE. And that stands for Victory Over Injustice Creates Empowerment. Every little thing that you do in your life, whether it's a small victory or a big victory, as long as you continue to wake up every day and try to be better than you were the day before, you're
Right.
now creating victory over injustice, and that creates your empowerment.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, how can people get in touch with you and learn more about your program?
They can go to my website at wartimefit at gmail or wartimefit .com, and they can just message me. Right now, I just opened up a gym, and I use that positive message through fitness. So we have people coming in now, and the program is continuing to thrive here.
Oh,
Uh,
that's wonderful.
we're working with kids with autism and Down syndrome, and we're just having an amazing and a fun time with it.
Oh, this is terrific. This is all great news. And don't forget, I want you to come back on so we can talk about the martial arts, your fit program, your acting career, and most of all, I want to see a sampling of your hip hop dancing.
Well, you
Thank
know
you.
what? Why don't we work on those two left feet of yours, and we'll get you, uh, two regular feet, and then I can start showing you some moves.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan, Dawn. Thank you so much for coming on Hollywood. I was going to say Halloween. Hollywood Entertainment News.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Bye bye.
Bye.